I believe this is episode 12 now of all my cook content videos, and I think we're at the end. I think for the time being this is gonna be the last one. I don't want, there was a lot to talk about, so I had to cover everything, but I didn't want to get to a point where I'm just milking it, and I think this is a good point to have a final episode, calm things down a bit. If I find more stuff, I'll do more videos. If I find stuff about Empire, Napoleon, the newer titles, stuff like that, I'll cover those as well. But things for those are much harder to find, as, the development studio for CA got better back then. Well, not better, but they had more people working on this, leaks were cut down, and changes were made, which makes cook content and alpha version stuff much harder to find. Today we're just going to look over some Rome Total War stuff. And then next Sunday, we'll start with something else for a couple of weeks. I'm sure something else will come up, I'll cover that eventually, so we'll play it by ear, see how it goes. So, this one was sent to me by a guy called Leon by email, so thank you to him for sending me these. And I think this is the guy who scanned them from a magazine as well, so like a magazine that showed old Rome Total War stuff. Had it scanned, uploaded, so big thank you to him for that, and it's quite clear as well, so the trade routes are much clearer to see, like really dotted red line. Actually, I kind of prefer this to how it is. Oddly, the Julii, they've taken Batavium, Mediolanum, they don't have any troops in there, but they've left Segesta. Settlements don't have names. Weird. It seems like the SBQR are actually on their turn 1 still. Yeah, this looks like their turn 1, which is weird. Usually they've grouped up their armies like 2 turns in. Interesting, we got some agents up there as well, we can see the trade on the roads. Nice. Right, some odd looking shields there. This looks like Macedonians and Greeks fighting together. Again, weird against the Persians. Okay, so this is an old layout of one of the cities, and the main part to look at here is the plaza. Like, look at that, that's a beautiful plaza. I think this is for Eastern empires. Okay, so he sent me a small piece of text describing what each one is, and I've noticed where it is now. The Macedon general is an officer, so a Greek phalanx, for example, normal Greek phalanx, but the officer unit would be Macedonian. That's weird, I don't know why the developers did that, but that's what we're seeing. Right, we got a new unique unit card here for the Principes. We've gone over some of these before. Oddly, the description seems weird as well. What can we see here? Town Watch being before peasants. Oh, all those units are mixed up. Oh, that looks horrible. They're all mixed up. 2 types of catapults looking identical. 2 ballistas look identical as well. Interesting. Right, so this is some more info on the enemy settlement stuff. As we've talked about this before, it definitely does look different to how it looks. I prefer how they do it now, I think. Okay, this one's back from 2003, so an entire year or possibly more before the game released. And we've seen different types of fire effects before. This is just another. They were clearly like messing around which fire effect is best and best for the engine. And this is another one. Weird. Ooh, this one's colourful. The main interesting thing about this is the Germans here. They have their old banner. I believe this is in Barbarian Invasion now. And just some early look at a ballista unit there. But different banner for the Germans. We've talked about that before as well, but I've never actually seen it in battle. So that bit of confirmation's nice. Alright, so this is the Seleucid Empire, and their troops are in yellow. I've got a few trailers later today that show, later on in the video, to show you that the Seleucid Empire, their troops were actually yellow, and yellow and silver, which it's weird to see. Then we've got some Egyptian-looking pelters back there. A very Seleucid Empire, it looks like it's got purple around them. I don't know, but they look like they've got some yellow as well on the armbands. Difficult to tell which faction they're going to belong to. Maybe it's just Egypt, or maybe it's an old Seleucid Empire unit. Difficult to tell. Although the leader there in yellow, that looks nice. I like that. And why are the Germans? Why are the Seleucid Empire fighting the Germans? That doesn't look right to see. Okay, now we got some blue cataphracts, and Leon here thinks it's for an old scrapped version of a Persian faction, like a lost faction. I don't think so. I think maybe like Parthia was meant to be blue. Maybe it's Armenia, but they changed the colour a bit more. It's difficult to tell, but I don't think it's for a lost faction. But it is interesting to see blue cataphracts. Alright, now it's the shields and the armour that are interesting. Okay, so look at the Julii units, for example. Julii are quite normal, but their shield is black and red. That looks like... That's a really nice looking shield, I like that. We got some more fire effects. But then we got the Scipii. Look at their armour. Their armour is black. Now their shields are normal, but their armour is black. Wow. That's really nice to see. That's interesting. I've never seen anything like this before. That's amazing. That just all the little details that were changed. I love it so much. And this is the last one sent to me by Leon here. This is Seleucid Empire again in yellow, but we got different Peltast and Archer models. So yeah, different models for different units. Sadly, these got cut though. And what did they go for instead? Did they just go normal Greek Cretan looking things? I think they did. Yeah, and the normal Peltast units. Okay, so now we got some old trailers for Rome Taught to War, and I don't think this was made by the development team. I think this video here, was made by a fan or something, just trying to show off the factions, and there's some interesting stuff here that we might be able to see. There's one thing in particular that I'm looking for. Where is it? It doesn't show any new units, I don't think. Ah, there we go. That's one thing I want to show you. The Germans here. Yeah, that unit we sadly don't get to see. Ooh, unique character there it looks like. And, oh, it changes the gameplay. Yeah, so it goes from normal Rome Taught to War, and then it goes into that more cinematic style that we've seen before in another trailer. It's a bit blurry, of course. What's it on? 240p. Wow, that's the best. Yeah, and then this is back into normal Rome Taught to War, I think. And, ooh, what were they? What were they? Those infantry walking with them. Yeah, it looks like some cut spear infantry unit there walking with the elephants. The elephants are, of course, a different model as well. Different colour. Wait, was that a... What was that? What did I just see? Right, that's Romans. No, that's Brutii. I think the ballista unit's a different model there. That is an updated Seleucid Empire, the non-yellow version. Oh, a nice colourful pretty battery man, those archers. I think those are a different model. Whoa, what's happening there? The old animations they had. That was funny. I remember the elephants coming and slaughter everyone. I want to see him again. Not him. The battering ram guy. Oh, he's funny. It reminds me of that other guy we saw before, a couple of weeks ago in that other old trailer. Wow, they did that on slideshow, I bet. Yeah, more yellow Seleucid Empire. We got the British having berserkers by the looks of things. This is probably where the screenshot of Seleucid Empire fighting Germans is from. But they're not fighting Germans, they're fighting British. Ooh. Some Peltast unit there. In purple. I bet those were the Peltast we saw in the background. Different model there for Seleucid Empire. Cavalry goes in. And the screenshot's about... Not there. Where is the screen? I don't know. there, I think that's how the general is shown in the old version. It's actually, all factions have normal banners, but for the general the banner is square. I think in the alpha version they had a little eagle on top of it like that. Another thing I find interesting is, where is it? Let's go back to this point here. They don't have the banners. Now, it's the same battle, so they've got the banners, it's all in the same battle, and that's when they're retreating, but banners are then gone. So I think it's in Attila Total War. I think it's in Attila Total War, where if you hold down the scroll button, you can remove all the banners and that stuff to get a cinematic view. Now that doesn't work on the older titles. There's no way I think of removing banners in Rome Total War. You can mod it out in Medieval 2, but I don't know with Rome. So they've done it here, so maybe like there was a button how to remove them to get a more cinematic view. That would have been interesting. Would have made some of my videos much easier if I knew how to do that. Like some of my more cinematic videos that I used to do. I love these old trailers, so if I ever catapults in, and this unlucky guy here, whack! One more time. I want to see it just as it gets him. There, just there. So he walks, and then boom, he's gone. Ooh, an interesting Axeman unit here. Is that Gauls? Yeah, I think that's Gauls. Ooh, some really interesting units. Aha, I knew I was missing something, and it turns out to be all the way up this first video. So, let's take a look. The Seleucid Empire, look at the elephants there. Seleucid Empire elephants in grey. And this is all in the same video, by the way. But then when we go to the Julii, wherever they are, alright, we got the Julii here, and they start fighting the Seleucid Empire. And we know it's Seleucid Empire because they're in yellow, and... wait. No, I'm wrong, that's Julii. Why... oh, that's even more interesting than I thought it would be. So, this is the Julii right here. So what it is, it's an elephant that the Julii are controlling, with Macedonian troops on top, and it's in yellow. I don't know how to respond to that. Yellow elephants. Alright, so that's the best shot I think is about here. So just as they're not... yeah. Come on. Come on, let me get it. There we go, that's the best shot we're gonna get. So, yeah, what I think this is, I don't actually know. I honestly don't know what this is. Now, we could say that it's a mercenary unit. Okay, let's say it's a mercenary unit. The Romans have recruited a mercenary unit, and it's an elephant mercenary unit, of course. And mercenaries back then were not green, they're yellow. We do have mercenary elephants in the game, so that does make sense. They just had a different colour to represent mercenaries back then. Okay, that does make sense, but first of all, why are the riders on it Macedon? Okay, maybe that was the model that they used at the time. That means I think they used Cretan archers on it now, the green ones. And second, how did they get this? Because in the Rome Total War that I play, at least, I don't find elephant mercenaries. Maybe I might find one in Arabia or in some parts of Africa, but it's very, very rare that I find elephant mercenaries. Maybe one per game at most. So why are the Julii using a mercenary elephant to fight the Gauls? Yeah, think about that. They're fighting the Gauls. How did they get an elephant all the way up here? Did they just ship it over or something? I've got no idea. Anyway, this is a super weird image. And that's all I've got to say. It's weird. Maybe it's a custom battle, but in custom battles, you only get access to mercenaries that you're expected to get. So like, Greeks get Cretan archers, and Carthage gets their mercenary javelin soldiers. It's all about the same faction still, even though it is a mercenary unit. So yeah, I doubt Rome had access to elephants. Maybe elephants were more on the game map, like as mercenaries. Maybe you could just get them from Carthage or something. I don't know. This is all just ideas of what could have been in campaign or in the custom battle. Okay, so what I've got for you here, let's just full screen this. And we got some units here, some old unit cards. Now oddly, all these unit cards here are still in the game. And when I say old, like, they're super small. And, oh, come on, stop messing about. There we go. So, they're super small. As you can clearly see, you can't, well, I said clearly, so you can't clearly see. Yeah, that's too small, so I'm not going to go over all of these. If you want to take a look at them, here is the route that you need to find. So yeah, they're too small, but as you might be able to tell, they're not the usual unit cards. They're old versions. Some of them are like normal updated stuff, but the rest of them are... This is how the unit cards were meant to look in the original version. There's some copy and paste ones in here. Gothic infantry, yeah, that's an interesting thing as well. This is in Rome Taught to War, not Barbarian Invasion, yet it references Gothic infantry, and there's Huns as well in here. So for some reason they have unit cards for the Huns in Rome Taught to War. There's loads of reasons why that could be. I've talked about loads of lost campaigns before. This looks like a Roman version of a British, because it's called Britain Infantry, but it looks too Roman. Interesting. There's also Boudica in here as well for some reason, I don't know. Actually, Boudica was in the Decisive Battles episode. So maybe they just made a unit card for her, or maybe, more than likely in my opinion, maybe a lost campaign to do with Britain. It would make sense, or maybe a custom character. We have seen references to custom characters before in other videos like these. We've got some Gothic archers as well now. More Gothic units there. Greek Athenian hoplites. Yeah, there's lots of references to units here, but you can go through them yourself, I think. As there's too much for just one video. And then we get into the Hittite Empire. Some stuff down here. Yes, this was also used in decisive battles of the ancient world. So maybe that's why they had them. But why would they need unit cards? Because they didn't show the unit cards. They just showed gameplay. Hunnic Chieftain Cavalry there. This unit here, it's called Roman City Militia. Roman Flagship. Roman Cavalry Archer. So yeah, that's all of them if you are interested in taking a look for yourself. As I said, I'm not really going to go through... This was meant to be its own video, but when I realised how small they actually are, let's put it in full screen. Yeah, that's just even worse. I decided not to. And that is everything, and for now, everything for the series as well. I hope you've enjoyed it, and thank you to everyone who has sent me stuff like this. Without them, this video series would never have been possible, so big thank you to them. Thank you to everyone who's watched and enjoyed it. As I said, they're not really going anywhere. I'm gonna come back eventually. If I find some old Napoleon stuff, I'll go back to it. If I find some good stuff for Rome Taught to War, I'll go back to it. But this is the end of a regular one or two of them every single week. And yeah, I think it's a good place to end it. 12 episodes in. And yeah, we've done well. We found a lot of good stuff. And it's interesting to watch from like the first episode, all the stuff that I didn't know and how much stuff that I know now and how I've pieced it together over the series. I think that's been the most interesting bit. Subscribe for more, share with anyone you think may be interested, and goodbye.